let's have an answer here. This way.
What's that?
But she's lovely. She can make lovely interviews. Much better on TV than me. Yeah, we try to do some videos, for the English lessons, like speaking together.
Can I
So
pass
it's
that?
lovely.
She speaks good English?
Well, she's learning.
Yeah. Getting close. Okay. So, as much like a story as you can make it about your life, you can introduce yourself if you want, and sort of give a condensed version of your events in your life and where you've come from and where you're, how you got here. That's sort of what I'm looking for, I think, and what about, and then I guess when you get into why you're here, what about this place was special enough for you to make you want to come?
Will you ask questions?
I can, or I can, if you.
It would be more easy, probably.
You think so? When I ask a question, if you cannot answer the question, but sort of rephrase what I've asked, like let's see, for instance, so it'll be easier for me to cut. I'm not going to have my voice in.
I will not have an
I will not have me or anybody interviewing, and it'll be. I'll have to try and cut it just with whatever you say. So, like if I ask you, how old are you, and you said, I wouldn't want you to go. Say it.
After 50, 52 or something like that.
Right, just to
yeah,
reset. I am 52 or whatever.
Yeah, maybe just try to say something.
Well, okay, if we could start, you could just, if you wouldn't mind starting, and if you feel comfortable introducing yourself. I'm Hans.
Yeah.
I'm from blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and
Sure.
I mean, I don't know anything about your history. Have you want to tell me a little bit about it, or have you had a...
Last 11 years I was a teacher in Switzerland. Then when I got 50, I had to do a change in my life. So I went to the United States to do the Grof transpersonal training.
Right.
This time Grof. As a workshop breath
So
work.
that stuff's good. I'm not rolling yet.
Yeah.
But is there any events that you think might be interesting in your early life that maybe set you off in a certain direction? If there are, then I mean, you know what I mean. I don't know what they could be. Like, if it could be anything from something philosophical to something maybe catastrophic,
Well, the whole story would maybe take 20 hours.
Okay, well, no, I don't want a 20-hour
Still
story.
the whole karmic things, and I mean, it can be quite... I
Yeah.
will make it simple, like sort of exterior. And,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, so let's just start with you introducing yourself and giving a brief little history of your life. Does that sound possible?
Yeah, see.
We'll see what happens.
Put my brains into function. The sound
Okay,
works.
it sounds on and sounds good, and in 5 minutes I'm gonna have to change the tape. So
Okay.
so I'll kind of go like I'll do something. Okay. So the tape's rolling.
My name is Hans, or Pra Hans, as they would say it here. And I'm a monk. I've been a monk for 3 days now. And I'm from Switzerland. grew up in Gstaad, which is a place in the mountains, slowing down. And I lived in Switzerland the last 11 years as a teacher. When I was 50, I saw that I had to do the next step in my life, and so I went to the United States to do the growth transpersonal training, to be a holotropic breathwork facilitator, what I have studied during 10 years before. And in the United States I did some shamanic workshops and experiences, and in one of them I saw that I have to make a drastic change in my life. And as I have come to Thailand many times, and I have known about this temple here, I came here to visit the temple. And when I came here, I saw that it was the place I have to spend the next phase of my life, to continue what I have to do. And what is important for me here is, besides the community, it's Lompo, who is one of the great teachers of the world. And he said that he would lead me, which is a great privilege. And he said I should stay here between 1 and 10 years. And so I will see what happens in the future.
It's very good. If you can tell me a little bit about your visit to him that first time, and if anything special happened, or just in a little more detail explain to us, like sort of the mechanics of getting here. Is that possible?
Or
Like,
thinking about becoming a monk, choosing to do
well,
that?
well, that would be okay too, but I was thinking more like if you could fill in a little bit more about how you heard about the temple, and you know, your first visit to him, to speak to him, and how easy or difficult it was to make an appointment here to be a monk. Is that?
Oh, this is quite difficult.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because things that happen on a quite a subtle level, you know.
Well, I'm interested in that because I experienced that myself too. So,
Is that on?
no,
Sound
it's
on?
not on. I mean, the camera's not on.
Yeah, this is very difficult to explain.
Okay, let's see if we could. Okay, we can skip that for a little bit,
Yeah.
or forever, and I'm also interested in what you do every single day. If you can just go through a day of what you'll be doing here during the time you're here. Is that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. We've got only 2 minutes. Let's change the tape.
Okay.
Yes, this whole thing, you know, I would have to say too many things. You know, my experiences in the jungles of the Amazon, shamanic rituals. This would be very.
If you can give me just a wee bits of that stuff, you know, if you could pick 1 or 2 little interesting sort of visionary or whatever sort of experiences that you had during that time, as you, maybe it's not been established or completely yet, but what you anticipate your day, from waking up to going to prayer to eating to.
Yeah, that would be more easy.
Okay, let's. I'm rolling now, so whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay.
It's rolling.
Oh, okay. My day looks about the following way. I get up at about 6:45, and at 7:30 we have breakfast. The breakfast is the only meal we have every day. In many Buddhist monasteries, after 12 you can have like only liquids, fruit juices, and here we can have only water and tea. It's a very strict monastery. It's also one of the vows one gives is that one cannot use any transportation. One has to walk. And the former abbot even had to walk to Bangkok once for a court affair. He was old, so that is a very strict rule. This breakfast is the only time one can eat, and in the beginning this is hard. In the evening one gets like hungry or one has no more energy. This is one of the hard things. The hardest thing is the sitting. 50 years of sitting in chairs. It's very hard to sit on the hard floor in these positions. One is used to sit, but it's also a great way of meditating. It's a way of overcoming matter. It's the pain and everything that is included in the body. Just go on. And for general. This I do. We give 10 vows when we become a priest here. And one of them is to do at least 2 periods of meditation every day. We call this dup. A dup is an incense stick. And during the time the incense stick burns, we have to chant or to meditate. And after breakfast there is a little chanting, but the main chanting is in the evening. It's about 7:30. And between that time one is free for like meditation or whatever. The monks here, they are working incredibly hard. Every statue, every building, the temples, everything is built by them, by their labor. My job is to teach English in the evening and to translate together with a nun these texts. The monks have to answer every day. Every day they get a little paper with a religious question, and we have to translate that into English. So when foreigners come to become monks, they can understand what it's all about. And Lompo wants that all the monks that made the vow for lifetime, that they learn English, that they know the vocabulary of the religious, of the Buddhist terminology. So that's a job I have here. And I also work some music. I played classical guitar for 20 years. And here we do a lot of music with the computers. And it's something that Lompo has discovered. These are like structures one gets from stones or from branches, and according to the structures they are transformed into a Chinese system of notes, of music. And out of this we try to make music. And there will be a CD that will appear soon. Yeah, that's about what I have to do. 5, 6 o'clock we go to the steam bath, which is called Tao Op here in Thailand. It's a steam bath with herbs, medical herbs. The monks go there and many other persons, they can go there. It's kind of a public place that is quite relaxing. And after that I have maybe 1 hour to study Thai or to study the chanting, which is not easy. Melodies are a bit difficult, sounding like monotonous but very strong. It's a bit difficult for European ears. And then I need some time to put my monk's robe, which is something one has to practice in the beginning. But yeah, I have bought these robes even not being a monk in Bangkok since many years. I have always loved these robes, and I have studied Buddhism. I've been studying Buddhism for many years. been involved in religion since a lifetime, I can say. And I had in 1974, I had a dream where my life was traced out till old age. And so I knew there was a period I would have to get detached from everything and to do something which has to do with the heart. That it's what it's all about here, the heart. And yeah, that's the reason why I'm here basically, is to save my soul. And one can say to save one's soul from the grip of being in matter. I mean, that's what it's all about. This, as a monk, this is done like in steps. It's the material possessions one has to let go, and then the clinging to food, to good food, to regular food. And then it's also the whim is the next step of matter. I mean, materia, mater, mother, it's all the same word. And then, as the experienced monks say, it's also one's own body, one's clinging to one's feelings, to one's mind. It's what they call the vipassana meditation. And at the end, maybe even to what is called the self. I mean, everything that one clings on, one depends on, that must be left by the time, by the years. And Lompo seems the person that will help me will guide me to do that. And I'm looking forward, even if it's not easy period in my life, I'm looking forward to what will happen in the next years.
You gave me stuff that was really good, because we did a lot of stuff with the music last time I was here, and for my documentary, just having someone say some of that in English is going to help. I mean, it's really good, and I'm glad you got into that. You're doing great, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
interesting.
No, you have a really good delivery and very good disposition. Maybe you're tired enough.
I'm very tired.
No, it's great. It's nice and slow, and
I hope I don't make too many English mistakes.
No, not at all. Not even close. It would be me that would be making the mistakes. But yes, this is good material for me, and that if there's any connection or how you arrived in your mind that this was.
Yeah, this monastery is a special place, not only concerning the landscape, concerning the temples and the power of the statues. It's also a little bit different in life, as much as I know, as little as I know. We get the food. We don't walk around and get the food from the people. We get the food to the temple, except in some weeks of pilgrimage that will be done every year. And it's a direction of Buddhism which seems to be quite ancient and forgotten in many places, which is called the Satya. And the important thing here is not only like to do insight meditation, but a very important thing is to educate one's endurance and to put one's mind under control and to get the master of one's mind, which is like in all the religions a crucial point. I mean, if one is not the master of one's will, of one's mind, then one can never progress. And Lompo is representative of this direction. And it's amazing to see whatever he says, whatever order he gives, it is done. Now there is the school built for the monks. If it's a temple that is built, it can be a hotel, it can be a statue, it can be, no matter how big the size is, he gives